Hey darlings, in today's video also too, let me just give you a roundup of what we'll be talking about. We're talking about the history of what I liked and my childhood and teenage years and how I developed my palette for scents. We also are going to talk about, hey, how do you make a scent last? How do you determine what's your scent palette? Paying attention to those notes and those fragrances and seeing, hey, what the similarities are. And if you are trying to branch out and try something different, I'm gonna give you a whole lot to choose from and to go out and try to sniff and smell for your own, experience. Last thing, we're gonna talk about some of your favorites, and we're gonna talk about likes and dislikes. We're gonna talk about how they last, how they dry down. We're gonna talk about the compliments you're gonna get from them, and also determining, hey, what's a niche fragrance? That's what we're gonna talk about today. Okay, so let's talk about the background of fragrances and perfume. I have been a scent person. We talk about the 5 senses from the bath time video. If you haven't seen that, we'll link this to this video. But I have always had what you would say, a major nose. When I say major nose, I mean I can smell anything, which is funny because I can't see. So I always remember that they like to say, if one sense is heightened, it's because there's a lack in one. So we absolutely made up for that with my nose, because I could pick up on scents of anything, and that could be from far away, that could be from like someone who walked past, but then also too, scents for me are memories. So I could say from a small child, I remember smelling scents on the female members of my family and being like, oh, what's that? And it's always been something that I've been like, oh, when you have a scent on, that means you are a grown-up. Or in my mind, scents are just very feminine and sexy, and it says, hey, I'm a woman and I'm here, and no one can miss that you were in the building. So I would say one of my early memories that I have with scents for me would be as a kid, just who went into the drugstore and remember we used to go in and buy Baby Soft. I'm not gonna age myself, but if you know, and it was just very powdery and just smelled like baby wipes but better. So that's what I started with, just because I always liked clean scents, something that was just really light, because I was still developing my palette. So my scent wasn't developed yet, so I didn't really know what I liked. Plus I was probably 10, so who knew? I just know I like to smell something on me. So when you get up in the morning and you get dressed, and you're doing your hair, you do your makeup, regardless, I feel like the scent is what finishes, the outfit. It finishes, hey, I'm ready to walk out and step out into the world. And even if now in the midst of the pandemic that we're in, you don't walk out, I still like to smell something. And when I say smell something, that means in my home, that means in the bathroom, that means in my office. Everywhere has a candle. Here's one here, and we're in my entryway. But everywhere has a scent, because I like to smell something. I like to smell something on my husband. I like to smell something in my car, and we can go into so many details on that. But so this is something that I've been doing for quite a while. And I remember my grandmother used to wear probably Chanel and Gucci. And it just was something that just stayed with me. My mom back in the day used to wear Tiffany, still one of probably her favorites. She used to wear red. How many of y'all remember red? Back in the Dynasty Dallas days, where it was all about some Erica Kane, and they were out there strong, AF. Those scents from the 80s and 90s were very much so potent. So you couldn't miss them. I'm trying to think what some other fragrances that they used to wear. Those are the ones that stand out the most to me. But I initially started my entry into fragrances probably in like, I wouldn't even say Bath and Body Works because I like them, but some of them were just too basic for me. Not to knock anybody if you like Bath and Body Works scents, but for me, I will tell you, I don't like smelling like anybody, and also I don't like anybody around me smelling like anybody, so I guess you could say I was a little bit particular even as a kid. Like I was just like, everybody is wearing cucumber melon, everybody is wearing, what is it, pea something, like everybody's wearing these. And so for me, I was just like, hey, like I don't want to smell like, you know, everybody in my class. I want to smell like somebody different. Like I want to smell like Lynn. So for me, it was, hey, what is Lynn like? So I went to Victoria's Secrets because I thought, you know, LuxLynneATL has always been in the making. And so for me, Victoria's Secrets was, so how many of y'all used to wear, what was that Victoria's Secrets? There was like a rose scent that was really nice. Pear glace, don't forget about the pear glace. And you know, with Victoria's Secrets, you had the 3 for what, 20? So you had to get the body cream, you had to get the lotion, and you had to get the spray, because that's how you make your fragrances last. And I'm sure you guys already know that, but we're gonna talk about it. So if you ever are at the point where you're like, I spray this on and it disappears, and you don't spray like a million sprays like I do, and let's say you do, you know, 1 or 2, 3 or 4, if you ever like, it disappears, it doesn't last, are you layering your fragrances? So you don't always have to layer, I would say, with that exact scent. But if you have a body cream or you have something that's unscented that could stick to, that helps hold the scent, try that out. Layer it, the body cream, or what we would say a lotion, add on to that. And if it's something you really like, go ahead and get the body cream that goes with it, because that's just going to add to that scent story, and then it's going to actually help it develop. It changes the fragrances, the notes change a little bit, and then now when you get in a car, when you walk down the hall, when you walk out of your bedroom, people know you're there. So I know there are a lot of perfume videos out there, and I have always been obsessed with perfume, but I am now seeing a completely different set of brands that are coming into play that are piquing my interest. And so I always wanted to see what was the difference between a designer fragrance per se and a niche fragrance. So a niche fragrance, the definition is perfumes that come from smaller companies that only make scented products. So that could be perfumes, that could be body creams, that could be candles. And the difference between a designer fragrance and a niche fragrance is designer fragrances are sold by fashion designer brands, and they can also sell clothing and accessories. So it comes from a house. I will say today, I don't care if it's niche or designer, I just like how it smells. So you're gonna see a mix of some niche scents, and some designer scents. I would say what's my fragrance profile? I like florals, I like fruities, I like amber, musky scents, and I also like to mix. So we will also talk about how to mix fragrances and switch it up so you don't smell like the girl in the elevator right beside you. All right, so let's get into these fragrances. So I'm not going to even start from top to bottom. I'm just gonna go, hey, these are all scents that I use and I love, because everything that I buy is a favorite, so it's really hard to say what's my favorite. For me, I'm a scent by mood type of person, and then also sort of by seasons. even though I like to mix things, there are things that I'm only gonna wear in the fall and winter, and there are things that I'm only gonna reach for in spring and summer, just because I think the weather dictates how it changes, you know, what I'm wearing, what the temperature is outside. But let's start by talking about probably one of the most popular niche fragrances online right now. And I don't even have to guess if you guys know what I'm going to talk about. But here we are. So, of course, who doesn't talk about a perfume video without talking about Baccarat, which is, of course, you hear people say Baccarat, and I'm sure not a lot of people actually say who the fragrance is by. And so this is MJK. So that's Maison Francis Kirk de Jean. And this scent is amazing. Well, these scents are amazing. Can you tell this is probably my third bottle of Baccarat? And then I also have the Intense. So both are amazing. And I always see the videos where people compare the two, and I think they are totally different. Even though they smell quite similar sometimes when you first spray them on, but there is nothing. Yeah, there is something different. There is something similar about those, but we'll talk about it. So the first one is Baccarat Rouge 540. This scent has, and I'm gonna go to my notes so you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading. But so Baccarat Rouge 540 is saffron, amber wood, it's also ambergris. It's got fir resin, it's got cedar, and this fragrance was developed by MJK based on a celebration of the Baccarat Crystal, their 250th anniversary, I want to say in 25th, 250th anniversary. And have you seen Baccarat Crystal? It's beautiful. I don't have any, so I can't show you, but so Baccarat is known for these amazing glasses and flatware, or not flatware, tableware. And so the red and the gold is a signature of the brand. And this fragrance smells different, I would say, a little bit on everyone, but it's a unisex, so this can be worn by anyone. And I think what I love about it the most is, even though you can tell it's Baccarat, it changes and it dries down totally different on everyone who wears it. It's a woody scent. It also has some breezy jasmine. Of course, the saffron makes this fragrance totally individual. The mineral notes, the cedar flavor, it's sweet, of course. And even though you hear what the notes are, I don't think you can even imagine what it says when what they mean when they say, oh, it has a sweet dry down. It's airy, it has a lemony tinge. There's so much that I love about it, but I will say, unfortunately, because it's so hyped and everyone is going crazy for it, I will say, and we already talked about it, I don't like smelling like anybody else in the room. I tend to mix this, or even though you can tell it's half empty, I don't wear it as much right now because I feel like everybody smells like Baccarat, and it sort of irks me. So I'm not gonna be mad if you go out and get it, or if you already have it, because we all can take advantage of this beautiful scent, and you can also mix it with things. But it's so crazy. But also what's funny is it means it's that good because everybody loves it. And when you talk about fragrances and scents, usually because of individuals and your preferences, not everybody usually loves a scent. Like, I could try something and my friends are like, girl, that don't work for me, or doesn't smell quite the same on me. But this right here, baby, I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. And because it was so hyped, that meant I had to go get the extract, because I was like, what's the difference? I think when I initially started wearing Baccarat, which was probably 3 years ago, it's probably been, yeah, it's been a little over 3 years. I smelled this one first, and this was the one I wanted first. But we all know the extract is way more expensive than this one, so I was like, what do we do? We wait, we'll try this one because they both smell similar, but hey, let me see what the difference is after I wear that one for a while. And so last year, I would say, yeah, I bit the bullet and I went out and got Rouge Intense, which is amazing. First of all, the bottle is beautiful. Their packaging is signature. You can see how much I have worn. This is a favorite. I actually wear this one now more than the original, but because I feel like it smells totally different. But anytime I am out, I do know that people are like, is that Baccarat? But you could tell it's a little bit different. And so the notes on the Intense are bitter almond, which that makes it so different because the original doesn't have almond. And I would say this one dries down to more of a burnt sugar. Both of them are sweet, but the almond totally changes the dry down on this fragrance. So this one has the musky woody, the saffron, which is a signature Baccarat, the cedar, jasmine, musk, the ambergris. So this one's bittersweet because of the almond and the saffron, so it's spicier underneath than the original. The almond scent absolutely takes over on the extract. It opens up strong. It dries down to a little bit of a buttery, sweet, burnt sugar scent on the skin. But what I will say about MJK fragrances, they dry down, but it's so funny how they come back. Like, I mean, it could be anything from, you know, you going outside and getting in your car, putting your coat on, and then all of a sudden you catch a whiff and you're like, oh wow, hours later, this is here. I mean, it totally changes to your body temperature, to the weather outside. But I mean, you feel like, hey, I don't smell it as intensely as I did when I first sprayed it, but it does not go anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Literally, I have coats and scarves or sweaters that I have sprayed Baccarat or the extract on, and months later, maybe weeks later, this is still on the scent. Like, I can put on my coat and I can feel it. I can smell it around like the edge of the coat. And that's even funny because I don't spray my coats. I mean, I do sometimes spray on my sweaters and I may not have realized it, but like the fact that it actually transfers to your outerwear is amazing. But it smells so good, so good. So if you were questioning, hey, Baccarat and the difference between this, go smell it. It's totally different and it's a beautiful scent. Okay, on to the next one, which is a Tom Ford scent. And this is Soleil Blanc. I could say so much about this fragrance, and I think it's actually one of the Tom Ford scents. It's not my first Tom Ford scent. I think the first one I bought was the one in the green bottle, which I have to look it up, and I'll link it below. This one was a gift given to me by my god sister. Thank you, sis. I absolutely love it. This is a scent I wear in the summer and spring. And the notes of Soleil Blanc are warm, sun-drenched, think private island. I mean, it's all about the amber and the coco de mer. It's a very seductive scent. There's cardamom, there's ylang-ylang, there is citrus, there is jasmine, there's tuberose, there is sparkling citrus. This is definitely a fresh floral. It totally gives you sun and luxury. And Tom Ford scents are not cheap. But I would say for the size, this one's 1.7. They run about a good $330. So if you are at the point where you're like, I want something that I can wear all year round, I would say you may want to go for, you know, some bitter peach or some lost cherry or the green bottle that I can't think of what the name of it is. This is a good one, but it's summertime. And a lot of people, I always used to laugh because people would say, this smells like sunblock. But like sunblock, but better. Like literally spray this on and you get vacation all day long. And who doesn't like a vacation? We love a vacation. This is a beautiful scent. Absolutely try it. The next fragrance, darlings, this one is called Floris London. It's by Floris London. And the scent is called Bergamotto di Positano, which is all about the Italy vibes. This scent is one of my favorites. And the reason why is because it totally reminds me and takes me back to my honeymoon, which was Italy. One of my dream locations, which I probably will do a video on some of my favorite places that I have traveled and what's next on my bucket list. But this scent right here, when you close your eyes and you smell it, I've already sprayed it, but I'll spray it one more. Oh my gosh. This scent totally gives you Amalfi Coast. On our honeymoon, we went from Rome to Tuscany and ended it in Amalfi Coast in Positano. And this totally takes me back there, memory sake wise. This smells like sunshine, Mediterranean Sea, limoncello, oh my gosh, a sea breeze. But the notes are bergamot, so warm marine notes, orange blossom, vanilla, wood, amber, amberette, said that, ginger. So this is super romantic. You gotta see that. It's a beautiful Italian bottle, so sexy. And also too, I would say, even though I would wear this at any point, just because the amber and because the lemon and the vanilla, I tend to wear this, I would say, more in the spring and summer. But anytime you have had an amazing vacation somewhere, try to pick up a fragrance from that spot, because it totally will remind you of where you were. It'll remind you of the region. That's something that I love to do. So bucket list wise, bring back a scent from one of your favorite locations, because you will never forget it. And this is what Italy smells like to me. Next on the list is good old Ebony Wood by Zara. Yes, y'all, I got this and did not regret it at all. This scent actually was created by Jo Malone for Zara, and I believe there was a couple. There was one that I've heard about. I think it's something Delightfully New York or something that I want to smell. But this one right here, when we were in Miami, I saw it and I was so excited, because you cannot find this in Atlanta, because everybody has gone crazy trying to buy this, because one of my favorite YouTubers, Kyra Monique, was talking about this, and I was like, ooh, Jo Malone made something and it's at Zara. So Ebony Wood is woody, it's spicy. This has ebony, it has cloves, it has pink pepper. This is a sexy scent, y'all. Like, this is total date night, hey, you know, cabin vibes, let's go to dinner. It's very luxurious, but the funny thing is, like, you wouldn't even expect it's all of $19. I will say though, probably the con is, I will say, yeah, it lasts, but it's not gonna be like one of those scents where you're like, oh my gosh, like, I can totally, like, the dry down, you know, days later, hey, I know who was here, Ebony Wood was here. But I will say, for the price point, it does actually do a really good job. I've actually sprayed this in my car, y'all. Like, I'm a fiend about scents in the car. I have a Diptyque car freshener, air freshener in my car right now, which is Bay. And I think Ebony Wood with the base scent in my car, it's a whole vibe. Like, who doesn't like driving around smelling some amazing scents in your car? Like, the car for me is an extension of my home. It's where I am. It's Lynn. It's me. And so I've also sprayed this in my husband's car because I was like, hey, this is sexy. Like, I want your car to smell like something. Not to mention too, also, oh my gosh, we need to do a whole nother video on men's fragrances because my husband has some scents that I totally like go crazy for. Like, he can spray them on and I am like, yeah, that good. We'll talk about those on another video. But Ebony Wood is amazing. Absolutely can say I mixed this with Baccarat. I've mixed this with Gentle Fluidity Gold. I mixed it with a couple of things. So get this. If you can find it, it's sold online, or you can find it in store at Zara. Really nice. And the next scent, this is one of my favorites. I discovered this sort of on a blind buy, just walking through Neiman Marcus. This scent is so sexy. This is by Byredo, and this is Baldiff. This scent is what Byredo says is their love letter to Africa. It is one of the most complex fragrances I own, and I think I own a lot of complex ones, but this is probably one of the most complex, and I'll tell you the second one soon. But this has bergamot, African marigold, buccio, violet, vetiver, cedar wood, black currant, lemon. This scent is very aromatic. It's woody, it's floral. So this scent was inspired by Paris in the 20s because Paris had an infatuation with the African culture, the art, the dance, the music. And I love this scent so much that as a gift, someone probably bought me the body lotion. And talk about layering. This is the best way to do it, is to get a scent that has the body lotion or the body cream to go with it. And these two are amazing. Like, this doesn't go anywhere when you wear it alone, but imagine putting on this body cream with it. It's beautiful. And I will say, be careful also too. Certain body creams I don't think do their scent justice. I'm not gonna go into particulars, but smell them first, because I did have, went to the mall once and I did have someone tell me, oh girl, don't get that lotion because it smells like Jergens. So just be careful. Not all of them, you know, really smell as strong as the perfume does. And I think some of them, the last couple of years that I have smelled, have been a tad bit off compared to the fragrance. So, you know, if I had to do a recommendation, I would say that a lot of, you know, people need to pay attention to the fact that the body creams need to be a lighter version, but you actually do need to smell the fragrance. So take note. Byredo, absolutely check it out. This is a beautiful scent. I actually bought this for a friend of mine, and she was just telling me she wanted something different, and I was like, I got you. Which is also something that I will say in the past I would never do, because I was always like, I don't want my friends wearing the same thing that I'm wearing, because we're around each other and we all gotta smell different. So I'm very much so one of those women that are like, oh, you must have a signature scent. I feel like everyone must have a signature scent. My signature scent, I will tell you at the very end, but like, I associate scents with my friends. Like, I have a friend who I remember back in the day, and if she's watching this video, she'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Monica used to wear a centerpiece and Chant by Chanel. So, and then my mom wore Tiffany. And then back in the day, I used to wear Chloe. I have a friend, Tima, who loves Hannah More. Like, everyone had a scent in my mind. So, get your signature scent and make it yours. So when someone smells it, they go, That smells just like Lynn. And the next scent is, actually, this one was gifted to me by a very close friend, and you guys probably know her because she is called the Wife Coach on YouTube and Instagram. All over, check her out. She's amazing. She's super hilarious and knows me very well. LB got me this Gucci Bloom, which is probably one of the most feminine scents I have in my collection. And very funny because I'd say I'm super girly. I'm just super girly and super feminine by nature. So she knows me so well because this is all about a spring floral. This is spring in a bottle. It is tuberose and jasmine, powdery, girly. This is white flowers. So it's a very creamy scent, and it dries down to a beautiful creamy base, and you smell like that gardenia and tuberose. Absolutely, I would say one of my favorites. This one though, I would say I probably would wear, since we say spring in a bottle, I would probably wear this more in the spring, but I have mixed this with a couple of fragrances, so mixing this with a musky or amber scent is really beautiful. So check it out. And they have a really huge bottle. I'm like, this is 3.3 ounces. So for perfume, that's a very nice size. Very pretty bottle. We getting down to the nitty gritty, y'all. We're getting down to my last 4 fragrances, and these are some of my absolute favorites as well. These are some of the ones that I mixed the previous ones that I told you about with a lot, or I mixed them with each other. So the next scent is by Louis Vuitton. And this one is, I'm not French, but I'm gonna try to pronounce this. I do have a French background, so I know how to speak a little bit. This one is Heure de Absence. And this scent is so beautiful. This scent is fresh flowers, jasmine and rose, mimosa, sandalwood, musk. It's got a bit of raspberry. This is very vibrant. It's sophisticated, very feminine. It's got a little bit of vanilla. This scent, I will tell you, when you put it on, it calls for immediate attention. Wherever you go, literally, people will say, who is that? Where is she? Where is he? What are they wearing? This scent also is a reinvention of one of the first, or I would say not one of, the original scent that Louis Vuitton made in the 20s. So this was actually one of the first fragrances from Louis Vuitton. Of course, this is not the scent from the 20s because they actually twisted it. There's a modern twist on this. So now the scent is beautiful. Not saying you know what it was back then, but they brought it back. So this is amazing. I would say I've mixed this a couple of times. This is one of the ones that you would think you would only wear this probably in the summer or the spring, but I have been wearing this all winter long. First of all, it's a beautiful bottle, and it gives you that little bit of a purple pink tone in the back. Really pretty. And in fact, me and hubby went to Louis Vuitton. I think we bought this in Miami, and we got a his and her. He has one that's, it is so sexy. Both of these are amazing. So absolutely check this out. This is one of my favorites. And the next scent is actually by the Labo, and this is another 13, which is so funny because I have been smelling the Labo scents for a couple of years, and I could not for the life of me figure out which one I wanted to buy. And I've been smelling them for such a long time that when I finally decided on one, I was like, I smelled this before and I was like, I'm not sure. And Le Labo is famous and very popular for the Santal 26. And Santal 26 reminds me of Miami. It reminds me of one hotel. Have the candle, whenever I light it, I'm like, take me back. But this scent right here is beautiful. Another 13 has amber and jasmine. I feel like a lot of my fragrances have amber and jasmine. So like, I totally have a type. Like when you say you have a type, I got a type. So amber and jasmine, vanilla, flowers, that's all the scents that I like. So another 13, I mean, I can understand why it made it to my collection. It has musk, which I actually is very funny because when you think of musk, for me, I don't think feminine, but musk is so sexy if it's done in the right way. Woody, pear, which makes this one so spectacular. So this one's very cozy, very warm. It dries down light. So I will say if you like something that sticks and you're thinking about like Baccarat, or you're thinking about Baldiff, or you're thinking about like the Louis Vuitton fragrance, this right here is going to not disappear, but it's absolutely going to be very light and faint. So I don't want you guys to be disappointed by it because it still smells amazing. This is a very sexy scent. It's very clean. Not a lot of projection though, so take that in consideration when you're thinking about your fragrances. But you can also mix this. I've mixed this with the Louis Vuitton scent just to sweeten it out a little bit more and maybe bring it out, and it is stunning. So absolutely check out Le Labo. This is not gonna be my first because I have a couple that I want from there. Very beautiful. Le Labo, you did this very well. So the next fragrance, I have been wanting this since last year and I got it for a Christmas gift, and I was so excited because this is my first Tiziana Terenzi scent, and this one's Orzo. And check out this box. It's amazing. I'm gonna take it out, but this scent is beautiful. She has so many fragrances that are just amazing. And this is Orzo. Orzo is, first of all, the packaging is beautiful, so unique. Very pretty to go in your perfume collection. But not just that, Orzo is amazing, and I would say this is probably one of, when I said complex scents, this is it. This is the most complex scent that I have. The notes on this fragrance have everything in the kitchen sink in there. So this is Italian, of course. So there's green apple, there's Calabrian mandarin, there's red plum, there's coconut, there's raspberry and blackberry, there are magnolias and orchids, there's jasmine. It's one of my favorites again. There's some jasmine, there's some rose, there's some lily of the valley, and there's also some caramel. Like, can you believe that? Like, all those fragrances go so well together, and I don't even know how she came up with this, but this is a gourmand scent, which it's sweet, it's beautiful, and I will say, even though I got this for Christmas, this is one of those scents that I will be spraying and wearing like crazy, I would say, in spring and summer, because it gives me that floral, sweet, but a spring summer vibe. Like, this is sun and fun, not vacation sun and fun, but just sun and fun, and it's beautiful. There are a couple that we'll talk about that are on my wish list that I'm looking at adding from this collection. I think one of her popular scents are, I think it's Andromeda. So when you get a chance, go smell these. They are sold at Neiman Marcus. I don't know if Saks has them. They may, but this is beautiful. It's such a weighted bottle, which it should be for the price, because these are quite expensive. But if you are looking to treat yourself, or someone is looking to treat you, go smell these. They're beautiful. So now let's end this party with my favorite. And I said I wasn't gonna say I had a favorite, but this is absolutely my favorite. I mix this with so much stuff. It's not even funny, but I also wear it alone. I have a shower wash that I layer this with. Like, I treat this like it's not going out of style anytime soon. And you can tell because look at the bottle. So this is Gentle Fluidity Gold by MJK. So this is by the same creator, Baccarat, and this scent is so amazing. Can you tell? I think this is my second bottle, and I go through this stuff so fast. Gentle Fluidity Gold is spicy, floral. It leaves a lasting trail. There's juniper berries, there's nutmeg, there's coriander, there's musk, there's amber wood, there's that amber again, there's vanilla. This is a warm and sultry scent. It is so sexy. And I sometimes mix this with Baccarat. And I'll give you a little secret as well. Almost dropped my notes. I actually layer this on top of one of my favorite body washes from Lush. So go get Honey I Wash the Kids, the shower wash by Lush, and spray this on top. Honey I Wash the Kids smells like toffee and honey, and add this on top. You guys probably are like, oh my gosh, that sounds so sweet and so like sickly. That shit is beautiful. This scent right here, I get people who walk past me and they're like, oh my gosh, you smell amazing. I've had people stop me in Sephora. I've had people in restaurants that are serving, or you know, when we walk in, that literally are like, oh my gosh, who is that? And I try, it's so funny because I'm always like, everybody smells good. So I don't even speak up sometimes and people are like, who is that? Oh my gosh, somebody smells amazing. And I never say anything, and then my husband just goes, like, he literally is like, and then I'm like, oh, you smell something? This is so beautiful. So we're gonna end the video also with two fragrances that are on my wish list, and they are both by Tiziana, Terenzi, and one is Kirk, or is it Kirk? And then the second one is Cassiopeia. They are both beautiful, totally different than anything that I have in my collection, and that's what I'm aiming for next. So what on this list is in your collection, and what's on your wish list? What's coming next? What do you need? What do you want? Like, what's something that's gonna go, oh, this is my signature scent? Let's talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching this entire video, and I look forward to getting 500 subscribers so we can share a amazing bottle of Gentle Fluidity Gold together. See you, darlings. Hope you're having a great day, and see you on the next video. Cheers.